All right, this is February 4th homework, okay? All right, number one, inequalities. So we want to isolate the variable m. To get rid of the 7, we are going to subtract 7 from both sides. On the left side is going to cancel. I'm left with m less, and then I have a -4 minus 7, okay? This is subtraction, which means I have to do KCC and change it to addition. So keep, change to addition, and change the 7 to -7. And in this case, they have same sign. The rule says add them and keep the sign. Both negative, I keep the negative sign. So this is m less than -11. Okay, let's do number 2. Isolate the j again. Let me write it bigger. J minus 8 greater or equal than -7. I need the j to be by itself, so I need to add 8 to both sides. The opposite of subtracting 8 is adding 8 to both sides. Here it cancels. I'm left with j greater or equal, and again, what's -7 plus 8? Okay, so this is addition. Different signs. The rule says subtract them. 8 minus 7 is 1, and keep the sign of the number with the bigger absolute value. In this case, it's 8. So keep it as a positive 1. So this is the answer is j greater or equal to 1. All right, let's do this one. Same thing. Isolate the b. I need to get rid of -3. The opposite of that is +3 to both sides. Right side, there's no thinking, it's gonna cancel. I'm left with b greater or equal. Well, what's -14 plus 3? I can see they have different signs. One is negative, the other one is positive. The rule says subtract. What's 14 minus 3? 11. And keep the sign of the number with the bigger absolute value. In this case, the negative number has a bigger absolute value. So this is -11, okay? All right, number 4, same thing. There's a -9 here. The opposite of -9 is +9. And I do that to both sides. Right side, I don't think, it just cancels. I'm left with x less than, and on the left side, I have -14 plus 9. They have different signs. One is positive, the other one is negative. This is addition. So the rule says different signs subtract. 14 minus 9 gives me 5. Which sign I keep? The negative sign, because the negative has a bigger absolute value. So this will be x less than -5. Okay? All right. All right, number 5. I can't barely see it. It's so small. Make it bigger. This is e over 5 less than -20. Okay, I want to isolate the e. I have division. The opposite of division is multiplying. So there is a division by 5. So the opposite of that is multiplying both sides by 5. So here it cancels. I am left with e alone. And 20 times 5 is 100. And a negative times a positive is a negative. With multiplication, different signs is always negative. So negative times a positive, when they are different, always negative. When you multiply numbers with different sign, the answer is always negative. When you multiply numbers with the same sign, that's always positive. All right, same with division. All right, next one. The f is being multiplied by 55, so the opposite of that is dividing by 55 both sides. Here it cancels. I'm left with f less or equal than 2. 110 divided by 5 is 2. All right. All right. 7 and 8 is the only one that's a little bit tricky. I'll write it bigger. G divided by -20 is less than -3. And here the -12 times h greater than -144. Okay, so here I have to multiply both sides by -20 to isolate the variable. All right, So if you multiply or divide by a negative when you solve an inequality, the first thing you have to do is switch the inequality symbol. So in this case, I'm multiplying by a negative. If you multiply or divide by a negative when solving inequality, you have to switch the inequality. All right, so here it cancels. I'm left with G. I switch the inequality. And then negative times the negative is a positive. I just told you that. And 3 times 20 is 60. So G greater than 60 means any number bigger than 60 would work, is a solution. All right, so let's do one more here. Here we have next one, number 8, we have to divide by a negative number, negative 12. Okay. So since I'm dividing by a negative, the rule says with inequalities, if you divide by a negative number, switch the inequality. So before I do anything, I'm going to switch the inequality. Now on the left side, negative 12 divided by negative 12 cancels. I am left with H. I isolated the variable. And 144 divided by 12 is 12. And a negative divided by negative is a positive, okay? All right, a negative divided by negative, same sign, is always positive, just like multiplication. So 8 is H less than positive 12. All right. All right, number 9, do the two inequalities have the same solutions? Explain. Well, for me to know if they have the same solution, I have to solve it. Solution means solve it. So let me solve it. I have to divide both sides by negative 7. I'm divided by negative, so I have to switch the inequality symbol. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 cancel. I'm left with J. And 21 divided by 7 is 3. And a positive divided by negative is a negative. 21 is positive, negative 7. So a positive divided by negative is a negative. Different signs. All right, let me do the next one. Here I'm going to divide both sides by positive 7. Okay. And I don't have to switch the inequality because I divided by positive. We're going to switch it when we divide by negative. Here, I did not divide by negative. So the inequality symbol stays the same. And I'm left with J here. And 21 divided by 7 is 3. And a negative divided by positive is a negative. So J less than negative 3. So do they have the same solution? No. The first one says any number greater than negative 3. Next one says any number less than negative 3. So they don't have the same solutions. All right, number 10, Hector wants to buy 5 baseball caps. He has $65. What is the most each cap can cost? So we have, he wants to buy 5 baseball caps. So 5 baseball caps. And we don't know how much each one's gonna cost, but we wanna know it has to be less or equal than $65. He's buying 5 baseball caps, and the price has to be less or equal than $65. How much the most each cap can cost? What's the most expensive cap he could buy? All right, we just have to divide both sides by 5. And then we have x less or equal than, what is that, 13? Not 13. Yeah, it is 13. 50, 15, 13. So the maximum each baseball cap can cost $13 because 5 times 13 gives you 65. Okay. And so number 11 says the cleaning service charge $15 per hour. Miss Henry is hiring the cleaning service but does not want to spend more than $75. What is the maximum number of hours? Okay, so the money has to be, wow, she doesn't want to spend more than $75. So she wants to spend less or equal to $75. $75 or less. Okay, and it's $15 per hour. $15 per hour. We don't know how many hours. That's what we're going to look for. So what's the maximum number of hours she can hire? So we just have to solve it. Divide both sides by 15. So x has to be less or equal than what we got here. 4. Is it 440 and 4 times, no, is it 550? 5 times 25, so 5, okay? Because 15 times 5 is 75. Okay, so the maximum hours she can pay for, or she can have, is 5 hours, no more than that, because she only wants to spend $75. Okay, all right, last one. The cafeteria table can each seat 8 students. The first lunch shift will have 125 students. How many tables does the cafeteria need in order for every student in the first shift to have seat? Okay, so each table has 8. The number of students we have is 125. So we have less or equal than 125 and 8 per table. We want to know how many tables. 8 per table. X represent the table. That's the thing we don't know here. So solve, divide both sides by 8. How many tables we need to seat 125 students? So 125 divided by 8. What is it? 6. 8 times 6. Is it 16? Yeah, me and division. All right, so 125 divided by 8 is 1, 8, and we have 45. And divide by 8, that gives us 5. And then it'll be 15 point something. So we're gonna need 15 times 8. So 125 divided by 8 gives us 15.625. Okay, 15.625. But I'm gonna change the symbol here. I'm gonna put it greater or equal, because I want to be able to seat all those students. So I need minimum 15.625 tables, but you can't have 15.625 tables. So we need at least 16 tables to be able to seat all the students. So the answer for this one is 16, okay? All right, hopefully that helps.